It's a great afternoon for me to teach you how to leverage $20 per month, 10 minutes per day in order to create enough content for a 1 million GCI business. This fall, I've had the opportunity to travel zigzag across the country. Did your state conference, left there, went to Cleveland, left Cleveland, went to the DMV area, left the DMV area. I've been to Michigan 3 different times from, oh, let me see here, Grand Rapids up to Gaylord up to Mackinac Island. And I can do this for anyone in the country. What I want you to keep in mind, there are over 41,500 zip codes. And the question is, which zip code will you dominate today and create a 1 million GCI business leveraging $20 per day? I am going to ask that you have a separate device and hopefully a notepad. We're going to go through these steps. Often you all want to know if you can have the recording. Your level of engagement dictates if you get the recording. At the end of the call, I tell Elsie whether or not she can release the recording. But this is not the inactive class, and this is the no excuse zone. If I can do this, and I wear 3 pair of glasses, readers, I have my progressive zone. I have nighttime vision now, and I can't hear in this good right ear because I have tinnitus. If I can do it, you can do it too. So I'm going to come over here and check the chat out because we are going to do a live case study. What the first person who puts in the zip code they want to dominate is the case study that we're going to do. But wait, don't go drop the zip code down, because I will be sharing all of the content back from the zip code. So maybe it's not the true zip code because you don't want everybody to have the information. Maybe it's an adjacent zip code. So now is the time for you to tell me a zip code that you want me to use today as the case study for how to generate a 1 million. I got my zip code already. So today we're going to write this down. 92780. 92780. I'm going to write it right here on my little pad because everything we're going to do today is going to be around the 92780 zip code. But you can follow along and do this for your dominant zip code. What I want to know, how many people here have leveraged RPR data in order to generate new leads? We're going to discuss at least 9 different tools today, and the total 9 will not cost you more than $20 per month, okay? Are you leveraging RPR data in order to generate leads and earn more money? No. Brian, that's all you had to say. Visualize this. We have 5 offices here in the city of Chicago. We have 265 agents. We've sold over $3 billion in real estate, 10,000 transactions, 3,000 leases. Of the 265 agents, a little bit fewer than 10% are there as a direct result of me. Out of the top 10, 3 are the agents that are there as the result of me. So I represent fewer than 10% of our agents, but 30% of the top producers. This data works, and I believe in net income. So we're going to start sharing our screen. If at any time you have any questions, I want you to come over to the chat and ask. We're not teaching theory. I'm going to show you in real time how to do this, how to dominate your market, and how to stand out. But the foundation of everything we're going to do is going to be RPR data. So you're going to feed your reliable data into artificial intelligence and allow it to create everything you need. You can even change the language. It's going to be for the visually impaired, audio impaired, and 1 in 5 adult learners who are neurodivergent learners. Okay, so let's go on and dive in. As we start to dive in to this afternoon, the first place that we are going to go is going to be over to RPR. Now, I want to give you my rationale behind how I leverage RPR. I want you to think of two different things. I want you to think about personality selling, and I want you to think about mirroring people. We're going to sell to people based on their lifestyles and their preferences. So let me come back because getting just a little slow on the hang up here. So let's come back. RPR. And let's see. Okay. Was a little concerned there. And now I'm trying to figure out why isn't RPR letting me in? Guess what? Because I'm not in I'm not in Google. So here we go. So we're going over to RPR, and you can also do this on your mobile device. We're going to leverage commercial data because inside of RPR, commercial data, there's a third-party tool. That tool is the Environmental Systems Research Institute, Inc. It is the same data that is used by 50% of Fortune 500 companies. So we come over to RPR, you go to research, you're going to skip all this residential, and we're going to come down to commercial trade areas. We're going to type in our case study for today, which is 92780. And it says Tustin. I'm going to assume that's what we're doing today. Now, we are going to do two different things from this home page. Both of them are going to be on the right-hand side. The first thing is we're going to create a report. Okay, so we're going to create a report, and we're going to name this report 92780 and hit continue. I am going to download this report once it is done so that we can zoom in and you can see the very first thing that I want to point out to you so that you can get laser beamed focus. And after we download all of our data, we are going to isolate it and put it in one folder with all of the different content. So today we got to wait a little bit in order for these reports to generate. So we went in and we pulled a report based on commercial trade data. The one reason that I do this is for page 2. When we start looking at page 2, commercial data tells us about the people who live there. And this is the Esri data. It tells you you got your diverse convergence, your city lights, your New West residents, your Pleasantville, and your urban villages. It tells us the percentage of households that make up each of these. What I'm doing is I'm going to come down to the median household income. Anybody want to type in why you believe that I'm looking at the median household income first? Do you think that there is a reason why I am looking at that data first? And one thing I'm realizing is when I click on this chat, let me minimize this. So there we go. Anybody want to share why do you believe that that is the first thing I'm doing? Now remember, you want to get this recording, so I need y'all to come and talk to me a little bit. We're going to communicate effectively. $20, 10 minutes. Thank you. To determine the affordability of the area. But for me, I'm looking at it not necessarily affordability. Well, it is affordability. A person can generally afford a house at 2.5 times their gross annual income. for me, when I'm looking at these 5 different segmentations, I'm often going to pick the one with the highest median household income because they can afford the highest price point in the market. Now, do I want to have 31% of the potential people in the zip code who make $70,500, which the average household income, 2.5%, is putting me at 175. Now, I know they don't have houses at that, so this is median. There are people who make substantially more. Or do I potentially only want to look at 10% of the market, but they earn $50,000 more per year, giving us a substantially higher average price point? So as I start taking a look at this, for me and my business, I know that my average client is 45 to 55 years of age. I would focus on Pleasantville. But the reason we're doing this is because if you are super niched, you can dominate a sector, because Pleasantville isn't just in this zip code. Pleasantville is in numerous zip codes. Right now, I'm focused on a Pleasantville person because I plan on being in the industry another 10 years. I get to age out with the highest price point in my market. So we've taken a look at that and we have downloaded this report on our computer. We're now going to come back to RPR and we're going to go back to this page. When we come back to this page, we are going to go into, and I keep making that same mistake. I do apologize. Let me minimize this. When we come back to this page, we're going to now go to create script. This is artificial intelligence inside of RPR. That means that it will take that same data. It will create a one-page summary, a detailed report, a PowerPoint presentation, social media video, client email, and a social media card. So you can get these 6 different pieces of content inside. But before we do that, we're going to scroll up. When we scroll up, we get to determine the tone in which we want to talk. There are 7, I believe, different tones: professional, conversational, friendly, confident, encouraging, warm and reassuring, direct and bold. I know that my number one tone is confident. The past week, 24% of my tone is confident. So I am going to pick the confident tone. And then when we come over to select audiences, I am going to train myself first to become a marketing expert of this zip code before I start reaching out to the different audiences. That means that if I want to train myself first to be the marketing guru, to have all of the insight to attract buyers and sellers, when I come over here to select audience, the first time we do this, and we can run this more than one time, we're going to come down to social media and digital marketing audiences. That's going to turn me in. It's going to turn me into a marketing agent in a confident tone for the area. Now, I'm not going to do this in order because I like for my work to do work for me while I'm going back to do additional work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come and hit PowerPoint presentation and then click on generate content. The mathematical equation, how did I get to 10,660 words? So to earn 7 figures or 1 million GCI business, you need to put out 10,660 words of value per day. Every day I'm coming in here in 10 minutes and creating everything that I'm going to teach you how to create. And I'm sharing it in multiple formats. A picture is worth 1,000 words. 1 minute of video content is worth 1.8 million words. So once this is done, I am going to hit copy text. But I'm also going to download a PowerPoint presentation created for me in the system. I already know that I'm not going to like it, but I'm going to create it so that you will have a clear side-by-side comparison. I prefer the Slate Orbit, and I am going to download that PowerPoint. Now, something new happened over the weekend. Historically, I know that I'm not going to like the PowerPoint that is coming out of RPR. I love RPR. I just don't care for the PowerPoint. Well, I use a third-party tool called Gamma, Gamma. It is still my preferred tool. But today, you can copy the data and put it into, if you have Google AI, you can go into Gemini AI and it will create a presentation. So the first thing we're going to look at is, what is the presentation we're going to create? I am going to come over to Gamma. We already downloaded one presentation. And when I come over to Gamma, I am going to come over to Create New. I'm going to hit Paste in Text, and I want you to pay attention. I'm not doing a lot of thinking. I'm copying and pasting the data because I have a reliable data source. So we're going to paste this in. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to delete everything under this media JSON. I don't need it. I'm going to click on Generate from Notes or an Outline. I'm going to look at this left-hand side. We're going to hit Generate Detailed. I do other ones, but this is for this example. It's going to write for the commercial real estate sites, selectors, retail developers, investors. The tone is going to be professional, concise. And down here, I've been doing a lot of black and white for luxury real estate. We could keep it black and white, but you get to hit View More, and we can pick any presentation style from this list that exists. Now, I'm thinking Orange County, so we could do something that will have a little orange in it to be a reflection of the county. So let's see here. We'll pick this one here, got a lot of orange in it. This is going to be our theme, and I'm going to select it, and then I am going to hit Generate. Now, as soon as this starts to generate our PowerPoint presentation, we're going to go back over to RPR, okay? Let's see. So it's starting to generate the presentation. We're going to go back over to RPR, and actually we don't need to come back to RPR because we still have our data copied. We're now going to go over to Gemini. And inside of Gemini, I am going to paste this information again. I'm going to take that information out from Media JSON, and I am going to say, create a presentation from the above information. Okay, let's, we already did that. Let's go and hit enter. And we're going to wait for it to start generating itself. So what we have done already is create 3 different PowerPoint presentations, but I am going to let you see them side by side, and you get to tell me which one you like the most. Now, it might take 3 minutes, not long at all, for us to create this, but we're creating 10,660 words of value that we're going to pick what we want to share with the public that will allow us to stand out as an expert in the 92780. Okay? And if you have any questions, come and type those questions in, but we will have one of our assets already created for us. And you can see how it's thinking. It's detailing the images, finalizing the plans, defining the presentation structure. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. So last week, this time, this wasn't even an option. So this is a new option in the past 7 days. So what I'm encouraging agents to do this week that I wasn't encouraging last week, maybe you don't invest in Gamma. Maybe you only use Google AI because of all of the fabulous features, which I will show you what those are. So it's creating the slides. We'll give it a second to finish the slides before we go and do a side-by-side comparison of 3 different slide decks. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Now, while that's doing that, we're going to come over here to our download folder, and I'm going to open up the first presentation that was created inside of RPR, the one that I'm not going to use. And I'm not going to use it because it's going to be my least favorite of all 3 of the presentations. So it took the data from RPR and it created a 9 slides in this deck, but you only get to pick from 2 styles. My favorite way to do this is still going to be Gamma. But do you see what Gemini created? So it created a 10-slide PowerPoint from us for the same data that looks better than the data coming directly out of RPR. Now, here's what kind of stands out to me. Strategic recommendations. Target warehouse club and specialty markets, adapt to diverse demographics, engage in community activities. Remember, I told you it's going to turn us into a marketing guru. Okay, so you're going to get all of these presentations, but this is going to be my favorite one. It always is my favorite one. Is going to be Gamma. And the reason is Gamma is just, it's more diverse. It has better pictures and images in it, but this one costs $8 per month. So you get to make a decision. Do you want to use the one directly out of RPR? Do you want to use the one inside of Gemini? Or do you want to use the one created inside of Gamma? You get to pick, but it's being made off of your data. And here's what's interesting. When we come back over here and we come back and look at your select audiences, once a week, you could essentially run the same report for the same zip code, but change the audience and change the tone. That means then you will have 9 weeks to market to a different audience, but you get the opportunity to saturate the market. Come over to the chat and let me know which one of those presentations was your favorite presentation. Oh, Maria, no, this absolutely is not for commercial real estate. This is for residential real estate, but I am teaching residential agents how to dominate the market with commercial data. If you come, let's go back over here and take a look at this. What we now know about this market is we know the home ownership rate. We understand the median house value, the appreciation, the market stability. It talks about strategic recommendations for site selection. So what's coming to the community, what's not, when people are moving in and moving out. It tells you about your investment opportunities, why this community potentially delivers. Let us discuss the different opportunities that exist. So what I'm doing is I'm coming in to understand the people of the area before I ever decide that I want to dominate the area. This is market intel, and the best market intel is going to come from the commercial side of the business. So no, this absolutely is not a commercial class, but you want to go into luxury real estate, you want to go into a higher price point, this is going to tell you everything you need to know about the residents and what it is that they are doing with their time, their disposable income, so that you as a residential practitioner can build stronger rapport. It works everywhere. Okay. So which one was your favorite PowerPoint? Gamma was good. So Eugene, you liked Gamma. All right, got that. Gamma, Gamma, Gamma. So Gamma's $8 now, but don't get me wrong. I'm going to venture to say that your fellow realtors in your marketplace aren't using any of them. So they're not using Gamma, they aren't using Gemini, and they aren't using the regular PowerPoint. But I have 3 PowerPoints in your marketplace right now. Okay. So I want you to also think that this data is available to every licensed real estate professional. There's nothing that stops a real estate professional from taking the data for your marketplace and leveraging it to generate leads. If they generate leads and refer them back to you, they want a referral fee. I got 3 texts one day last week for people willing to refer me business. I don't need your referrals. I generate my own business. So you have the opportunity to leverage your data that you paid for community domination. So that's the first step. We have 3 presentations, and all we did was copy and paste our data, and we did one in orange or peach because you're Orange County. We're going to come back over to RPR because we're going to maximize the opportunity. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over and get a detailed report. And we'll go and we will generate the detailed report. And I'm going to let that, nope, we're going to use the, I know how we're going to use it. So I'm going to copy this text. And if I wanted to, I could export it as a PDF. And the reason is I want to turn myself into a marketing expert on one platform for that area. So we know that we want to use Gamma as our presentation. We know what our zip code case study is, 92780. Oh, we're gonna do it all. I'm gonna make sure I get you everything. But remember, I told you I'm gonna make something work for me while we're working. So we're gonna get to the social card and the video. We will do those. What I want to know is what platform do you want to turn yourself into a marketing expert on? Come and type that in. First platform wins. What platform are we going to become the marketing expert for in the zip code? Besides Gamma, we already got Gamma. I want you to think social. Okay, there we go. Jean put in Facebook. So here's where things start coming together. We're going to go over to ChatGPT. So I'm going to use ChatGPT for this one. And the reason I'm using ChatGPT is because I have a custom GPT that you get to use. When you start thinking about custom GPTs, I have get this, a $300,000 staff that I pay $240 a year for. Because inside of ChatGPT, I have all of these different projects. So look over to the left-hand side. I have the LinkedIn Writer. I got a hold of the NAR Strategic 2026 to 2028 plan. I already created that. Association Executive, Course Developer, Russell Brunson. I've created very specific rules that help me do a better job in my business. And I set them up as individual projects. But the reason we're over here is because of the custom GPT that I created. So everyone here has access to this, which is going to be the Realpreneur Prompt Writer. If you're not on your mobile device, take a picture of the screen so that you can come back. Oh, you know what, Maria? I might give you something on Pinterest. We're going to make an image to pin on Pinterest. Come and take a photo of the screen so you will know which custom GPT to come back to. Before we do this, let's go back and look at our report. We're going to focus on, let's see here, 97, 122. For this, I'm going to focus on city lights. And I'm going to focus on Pleasantville. For Facebook marketing. We're going to come back to the custom GPT. We're going to attach the file that we just downloaded. Remember, I told you we're downloading the report from RPR. Where is it at? RPR generated the report. And guess what? I could also come in here and I could put that PowerPoint there. So I'm giving this custom GPT information on the zip code I want to dominate. But here's where things get interesting. We're going to talk to it. I want you to become a Facebook marketing expert in the 92780 zip code, focused on city lights and Pleasantville for Facebook marketing. Okay, looks good. We're going to hit enter. And what this is going to do is turn or create me a prompt that will allow me to stand out as the marketing expert in that zip code for the people who I say I want to be the marketing expert for. Okay. Act like a senior Facebook marketing strategist for residential real estate who's focused in hyper. And we're going to let this finish running. Step-by-step execution. It's telling it to clarify information. Okay, let's keep going. I like this. It gave me a budget, ad set, doing a lot of stuff. All we gave it was some data and told it that we wanted a Facebook marketing expert. Now, this employee, because I have a Facebook ads team, this employee right here is worth $30,000 a year. Okay, so we're going to copy this, but I want you to be able to see it and what it really looks like. Paste this in. This prompt is 5 pages. And it says, act like a senior Facebook marketing strategist for residential real estate who specializes in hyperlocal domination at the zip code and neighborhood level. You understand Meta's housing category rules. That's a good one. Fair housing compliance and the full Meta tech stack. Business Manager, Pixels, Conversion API, custom lookalike audiences, Advantage Plus placement. So we just hired us a $30,000 a year if you were going through an ad agency. And the goal is to build and run Facebook marketing systems to dominate the zip code 92780 with the neighborhood focus on city lights in Pleasantville, generating qualified real estate leads and appointments. And it just starts breaking this down and giving me some parameters. Okay. Now we're going to see if this works. So we're going to come back over to ChatGPT, and you can use this tool for free. You don't have to have any subscription to use the tool. It's available for the public. And we're going to type this in before we turn it into a role in our company. So it says direct plan attached, confirm the inputs, and then execute. Okay. We're going to execute it. No housing solicitation in the comments, DM, or service, monthly Q&A. So for everyone, you're thinking about what's that zip code that you plan to dominate. Because this same process you get to do for that zip code. And if you want an Instagram marketing expert or a Pinterest marketing expert or a LinkedIn marketing expert, you get to use this tool to do that. Okay, confirmed. Confirmed, Mr. R. Please execute. Let's see what it looks like. And mine is in thinking mode, which takes longer, but you'll get better results. Okay, so it will set up a page, business manager, content engine, 3 stories. So it's telling you what it is you're going to have to do, the campaigns, objectives, considerations, outlining what that plan is. Okay. So we've created this role, but what I want to do now is we are going to take 2 pieces of data. Okay. One, we're going to go back to RPR and we are going to copy this data and we're going to go over and open up a new tool called Notebook LM. I absolutely love Notebook LM. When we come over here to Notebook LM, let me go back and do this again. So we're going to go back to Notebook LM. You're going to click on the Create New Notebook. And we get to actually come over here and hit the paste data in and paste in the data from RPR. But one thing I also want to do with this data, remember, I get to tell it a role, but we're going to use that in a second. It took the RPR data and it created an interactive chat specifically on that data. But over here on the right-hand side, I can create, just by tapping these buttons, a quiz, a flashcard. I'm going to do a mind map next. I get to hit reports. We're going to do a blog post. We're going to come back over to reports. We can do a market analysis. We'll come back over to reports. We will do an investment proposal. And because it has this data now, I'm going to come back and I'm going to copy the first paragraph of the job description. When we come back, we are going to do a video overview. I want to hit this pencil. I am going to do a brief, not a long video. We'll do a different style. Let's do the watercolor video. But what should the AI host focus on? I want my video and audio to focus on Facebook ads for that area. Okay, so we're going to hit generate. And then we're going to come and do the same identical thing for the audio, which is going to be our 2-person podcast. This one we'll do a brief as well. We'll do English. You don't have to do English. You could take this data for your video and for your audio, and you have 80 different languages that you can do this in. So for this one, let's do this. Let's do, we'll do Spanish, and we get 3 choices. I'll take Mexico. I'll paste in my instructions, and we're going to hit generate. So we're going to have a 2-person Spanish podcast, a English video, a mind map, reports, flashcards, and quiz. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over to the high income, low ownership economics. That's because I'm going to assume the housing is expensive. I am going to copy some of this data down to suburbs, and we're going to go open up another Microsoft Word document because we're letting those items generate for us. Now, normally it takes me 10 minutes to do all of this, but I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just going with my, my normal flow. So we're going to come over here, high income, low ownership, the economics paradox, right? When you picture suburban communities, certain images likely come to mind. Tree line is kind of breaking this down. I'm going to hit Grammarly so that we could correct this. This article delves into uncover the hidden narratives of the zip code, the community marked by significant diverse convergence in its population, 31.5%. That's huge. By looking past generalities, we can identify key trends that paint portrait of community counterintuitive. We will check this. We'll hit specific. Now, because I use Grammarly, I can come and turn this plagiarism checker on and we can check it for plagiarism before. The check just came on. It's saying it sees no plagiarism. The way that I would use this is copy it. If you decide that you wanted to use Gamma, you come back to Gamma. You come up to the top right-hand corner to share. I hit the share. I'm going to turn this on so that it can be discovered. I'm going to go to export. I can download this as a PDF, a PowerPoint, Google Slides, or photos, but I'm going to hit the LinkedIn button. So I am going to share. This is going to be a part of that daily share. I am going to share this over to my LinkedIn profile. But the value of the PowerPoint is over 10,000 words because a picture is worth 1,000 words. So we've given it context and we've shared the entire report, but we get to leverage this report in other ways. And it's not our only report. We still got Gemini and we still got the PowerPoint that we created. I want to know before we move forward and why that's doing, oh, it had an error posting. So let me come back and try it again. And it might be because we got so much stuff going on. Let's see here. Let's try it one more time. And if it doesn't post now, I will come back and post it later. My Wi-Fi might be a little stretched only because, okay, so it posted and we'll come back and take a look at that. So just based on what we've covered so far, what do you want to go back over? Now, we got a lot of stuff. We got stuff working for us. It's creating a video right now. It's creating a 2-person podcast. We still got to go back and create a video and a social card. But this is going to be the most focused content that none of your competitors have or are using in the marketplace. The intel we're going to save to one folder. I'm going to tag that folder as 92780 so that I'll have everything that I need for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, to go back and market exclusively to this area or to this zip code. There are over 41,500 zip codes in the US. As real estate professionals, we just need to pick one zip code. So any questions before we move forward? And if not, when we go back, we should have the rest of our content. Copy paste is what we're doing. Well, thank you very much, Maria. Copy paste. And you was worried that it was all about commercial. Now it's nothing about commercial. Let's come back over here to Notebook LM. Oh, and let me point this out because I don't think I did. Notebook LM is also a Google AI tool. Gemini AI is also a Google AI tool. So this is all coming inside of a Google AI suite of tools. So we're going to come back over here. We've shared our blog posts. We got 3 PowerPoint presentations. But when we come back into the studio, let's see what we all got over here. We are still generating our video, but we have our audio. So let's play our audio first. And I believe you'll be able to hear this. All I understood was California, familiar, and important. That I did get. So and I don't speak Spanish. But is anyone here do speak Spanish because we created the audio in Spanish for the Spanish speaker. Okay, nothing else will be in Spanish. Now, the audio overview and the video overview, you get to select 80 languages. It's the same languages. So you could go back and do another one in a second language. If you speak English and Spanish, then you could do one English, one Spanish. Okay. So we have our audio overview that was in Spanish. We already took a look at the blog post because we shared it with the Gamma. We're going to now take a look at our investment proposal. Uh, and the investment proposal, if we just copy this so you can get a good look at this content, it's about a page and a half. Oh, no, it's not a page and a half. It is how many pages? One, two, three, four, 4.5, almost 5 pages. So this is an investment proposal based on the data. The core investment thesis is built on a powerful convergence of factors, a dense youthful population, substantial and growing disposable income, and a dual consumer base composed of both stable residents and a large daily influx of professionals. So that means a lot of people are coming in. This combination has cultivated a market of high earning yet value-driven consumers. So we have our investment proposal. You need 10,660 words of value. Let's see how many words this is. We will come to review. We will do a word count check, and this is 1,400 words. I mean, we're going to have way more than the 10,660 words of value we need in a day, but this is our data, and no one else likely. Let's go to our plagiarism checker over here. Hit close. Because it is RPR data, which is exclusive to real estate professionals, because they're leveraging the Environmental Systems Research Institute, Inc., because we selected the tone and we selected the audience, there should be little to no plagiarism. Okay, but let's check to see. I just turned the plagiarism checker on. We'll see a little green check mark down here. And if there is some plagiarism, then we're going to correct it before we would actually post it. Plagiarism, none, because it's all of these different filters. And it's our data. It's our exclusive data. So available to what, 1.4 million people, give or take. Uh, and we know that most of them aren't using the tool. So that means it's pretty good to go. So you had your investment proposal, you have your market analysis, blog post, you have quiz. Let me just show it to you so you'll see what it looks like. It gave us 7 different quiz questions. You could do a FAQ or a contest for the community. What do you know about the community? We have flashcards that look like quizzes, but in a different format. So what is the appropriate, and let's kind of scroll down to see this, population of Tustin as per the community profile, and it gives us 54,833. That's a nice base to be able to work with. Let's keep scrolling down. My favorite is the mind map. It created that mind map for us. So we got community and identified a lifestyle, and every last one of these will break out. I often use this as a picture. Okay, you can download it uh, just so you know you have the mind map. And I see that our video is done. So we will come over here and turn on our video, the video we kept in English. So I told you we were going to take the data and turn ourselves in to marketing experts. That's what we did. And we have all of the data that we could potentially share back. But the first goal is for you to be able to dominate the community by training yourself on one zip code at a time, going deep. You got 50 some thousand people you could focus on. And we don't even want to focus on the all 50 some odd thousand of the people. So I'm seeing a couple of people over here in the chat. Let's see something here. Do all the apps you show create the performance reports explaining the results of those campaigns? If so, can you show us how to check and review those reports? So if you run, well, in Facebook, I don't run my Facebook ads. My team runs my Facebook ads. But let me tell you what I'm doing this year. I'm betting on me. I've ran ads for the last 2 years. I'm seeing a 2x, 3x return, but was still scared to pull the trigger. This year, I'm betting on me. I'm spending up to $20,000 per month in Facebook ads if I can get a 2x return because a bank will never give it to me. I don't carry any debt. I have credit cards that have those limits on it. So I'm leveraging one credit card to see if you can get me to 2x. That means then no bank is going to give me that in 30 days. So I can ask my Facebook team, but I don't have it. And I don't spend on any other platform. On LinkedIn, and I have 13,000 people who follow me, 2,200 people who get email from me every week from my newsletter. Instagram is tied directly to Facebook. So the only ad spend I'm doing is on Facebook, and I have a Facebook ads team that does that. In the RPR, there is an easy way to download the data if we want to run 10 plus zip codes. I think you could, is there an easy way to download all the data? I have a question. We could follow up on that because I'm not sure how to pull more than one zip code at a time because I pull one zip code at a time because that means that I can go deep in that zip code. Is there a way I will follow up with Elsie and she can send out the written instructions on how to pull multiple zip codes using the commercial trade data? Keep in mind, I'm not using residential trade data. So that's what's differentiating me from everybody else. And I'm thinking like a marketer. So I've been teaching on the collegiate level now for almost 30 years. Teaching marketing classes. So this is a marketing philosophy. If you understand the people who live there, you can market to their needs and wants, but more importantly, to their pain points in order for them to do business with you. So we can definitely come back and get you that information, but I don't know how to do it right now. Is it good to do real estate marketing via LinkedIn, or is it better to do marketing via Facebook and Instagram? Well, let me come back. LinkedIn contingent upon who the buyers and sellers are of the community. Okay. So I did the same example for a community called Kenilworth. Kenilworth is the most affluent community in all of the state of Illinois. I was with the North Shore Barrington Association of Realtors. When I did that, we understood that the mass majority of the people who live there are in the financial sector. Because they're in the financial sector, I would use LinkedIn. If it's another community and people are not in the financial sector, people who are likely to be on LinkedIn consistently, I would focus on Facebook and Instagram. My son Skylar, he's an NAR 30 under 30. He uses Instagram. He did 80 videos last year, closed out the year at 165,000 with zero ad spend. Okay. We could keep going through this. So who are the people who live there? But I'm glad that you asked that question. Let's go back and take a look at it. When we come back over to that zip code, taking a look at that report, right? You're looking at the edge. Well, first of all, we're looking at the employment. Services or professional, professional management, business, financial, services or construction, professional management, services or professional. It goes through education. We're looking at that number one area that I would likely focus They're professional management, bachelor's degree. They enjoy outdoor gardening, go to the beach, theme parks, and museum. They invest conservatively, use all types of media equally: newspaper, magazines, radio, internet, and TV. So I was looking at their media utilization because sometimes it will break that out to dictate where you should place yourself. But if I am looking, let's come back and look, median age. As I'm looking at that median age, and it was what, 30, was that 35 years of age, you're going to have more Instagram, TikTok users in that age bracket. So I might not even do Facebook. I would do Facebook if I was doing ad spend. But looking at Instagram and looking at TikTok based on that average age. So now I'm thinking of what's the average age on a platform and what are those jobs that they're doing. And that's where I want to go spend my time. For me, I use LinkedIn because I'm hired by the director of education and CEOs for real estate associations, bank title companies, and franchises. They're on LinkedIn, but I get to know them on Facebook and Instagram. So if I want to know if they have a dog or cats or things that are very personal to them, they're not telling that information on LinkedIn. I'm going to have to go to a different platform to get that personal information. We could not hear the video or see it. You couldn't hear the video or see it? Okay, let me see something here. You're probably right. So let me stop share. Let me go back and share again. Let me turn it. Oh, so that means you didn't hear the podcast either. Okay, here we go. We're going to give it to you. We're going to come back over to, thank you for saying something. We're going to come back over here to Notebook LM. The first thing we're going to do is play the video. If you can't see or hear it, say something, okay?
All right, today we're building a data-driven playbook to absolutely dominate one single real estate zip code.
So, how do you win in Tustin, California? We're going to turn community data into a killer campaign.
First up, you've got to know your audience. So, exactly who are we talking to here?
Okay, we're targeting just under 55,000 people in this one zip code. Let's meet them. The median age, 36.7. That's the absolute sweet spot.
Now, you're going to get all this information because I'm going to, everything that we create as an asset today, I'm going to send back. It's going to be your follow-up. So that was the video. And here is the Spanish podcast.
Internet. Entender esto es crucial si buscas hacer marketing local, sobre todo si lo tuyo es el rollo inmobiliario hiperlocal y quieres usar plataformas como Meta, o sea, Facebook e Instagram. ¿Quién vive realmente en Tustin? 92-70-80. Bueno, son casi 55,000 personas. La edad promedio anda por los 35.
So I think it talked about personas, right? So let me just check in the chat. Were you able to drop a yes down if you were able to hear the video and hear the podcast? Okay. So now we got, yeah, I see the wow, right? This is your data. And we've created 3 presentations: a video, a podcast, an investment proposal, market analysis, blog post, quiz, flashcards, and mind map. And look, we haven't been together an hour. We're coming up on an hour. But I'm telling you, if you concentrate on this, you can get this knocked out in 10 minutes per day. And we've shared a presentation over to LinkedIn in this hour. And we're not done. Okay, so let's go with that part. We're not done. We're going to come back to Gemini. Now, remember, we've already taken our data and we created a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to download this PowerPoint so that I'll have that to put in the folder that everybody will get examples of this information back. I'm going to also come over here. I'm going to export this. Let me go and give it to you in PowerPoint because then you can edit it and do whatever you want to do. I'll also share the links to these and I'll put everything as a download in the folder. Well, we're going to come back to RPR. And I'm just going to copy this one more time in case I don't have it still on my my copy paste board. And this time we're going to go back to Gemini again. I'm going to come back over and do a new chat. I'm going to paste this data back into Gemini. But this time, I'm going to hit the tools and I'm going to hit canvases. Now, what I've been noticing is that I could do this and sometimes it doesn't hear the word canvases. Create in, if I'm going to prompt it as well. 2.5 Pro, we're going to hit the enter button. Some of the same features that you saw over in Notebook LM are also going to be inside of Gemini because they're both Google platforms. Once this has stopped running, and I come up here to the top right-hand side under Create, we can create the quiz, flashcards, and the audio overview. We can do that inside of Notebook LM. For this example, I'm going to hit the infographic to create yet another visual from the data. We're going to have all the visual content that we need. So Gemini is very powerful. We're going to do some other things in Gemini. And we got to finish up everything, all the other assets that we have inside of RPR. And Gemini, the upgraded version is $20 a month. I do have the $20 per month version. And the reason I have the $20 per month version is because I needed it for storage capacity. I didn't get it to use it for all these great tools. We'll also create a video and some images. So now it's starting to code. And we'll have a cute little infographic in a second. You got to get a little patient. Here we go. So now we have our new infographic that you get to use and share. I just love this stuff, guys. I get excited every single day based on these tools that we have. So let's go back to RPR. I tend not to use the one-page summary or the client email. Now, we could use those if you want to. I tend to focus on the detailed report PowerPoint presentation. You do also now have the social video that you will click on. We'll stick with our Orange Theory, the Skyline posts, and I'm going to hit generate video, and RPR will create a video for you to be able to share on social media. And this is just the AI in RPR. I want to leverage every last one of my member benefits. These tools do run a little faster, but keep in mind I'm sharing via Zoom. So let's take a look at this first. So you can download, you can get the QR code. We'll hit the download video button. So we now have our video. We're going to come back up because we're going to do our social media card. Create the social card. You want to make sure that it has all of your data in the different fields. And I guess I could add my phone number here. Okay. We get to select the background. So I'm going to find me a background that I think would be a little bit more Orange County. They got a lot of rainy streets. Let's see here. Let's see. Which one do I want? Maybe that one. Maybe this one. I'm sorry, you probably can't see them. I'm going to pick this one. Okay, I don't know if this is what it looks like, but this is what I'm going to pick. So we can then go to share caption. Picture's worth 1,000 words. But they're giving you the caption And they give you 4 different captions that you can toggle between. Let me see. In their 20s, what's changing? I might go with this what's changing one. We're going to hit save and share. Yep, copy the caption. I knew I could copy it. Hit save and share. Download. So now we have our social card. So social card, video, 3 PowerPoint presentations, and everything that we have created inside of Notebook LM. What questions do you have? Let's see here. This is the knowledge I've been seeking. I will need to review and go step by step. Oh, thank you, Maria. I'm glad that this is going to help you. I focus on making money in real estate. And so I always want you to be able to make more money, and I want you to leverage the tools that you've already paid for. How is the commercial trade information different from the residential information of RPR? The number one way, Jean, that the information is different, and I'm going to go back and look at this report for you. In the residential information, they do not give you the ESRI data, the data that is used by 50% of the Fortune 500 companies. They're not breaking down the different households because for commercial, you have someone coming in to make a business decision. So they want to understand the people who live there. I believe that as residential agents, we need to understand the people who live there. One of the first lessons I learned in real estate when I came into this market 26 years ago was that my friends could not, hard lesson, that my friends could not afford to buy what it was that I was selling. So I had to be strategic to realign myself with people who made enough money to be able to afford what it was that I wanted to sell. So it means then I have new friends or I have new people in my social networks because my friends could not afford it. And that didn't mean that I wasn't supposed to make it. It meant that I needed to surround myself by people who could. I'm always looking at the data. Who's going to be there? Who am I doing business with? Can they afford it? What's my positioning? And oftentimes we're spending, there are people we need to, people, places, and things that we need to say no to in order to fulfill our business calling. And that's one thing that I've mastered the ability to do. Some people might say it's being phony. No, it's a business decision. And if your friends can't afford it, then you got to get you a new social circle, right? Don't mean you call them friends. It means that you have a new social circle, right? People who you spend time with because you have something in common. So this is the data that you're not going to get when you pull that residential report. And so you also have to be careful. So when it comes to familiar status and things of that nature, you see that I took a moment to pause to read what I was sharing because this is commercial business data. They're not adhering to the same rules that we have to adhere to when it comes to 1 to 4 residential units. So you want to use it carefully and you want to use it knowing that you still have to adhere to fair housing rules and regulations that does not pertain to industrial and or commercial real estate. Okay, so that's the data. We water our streets for photographs because they look shiny and new. Brian, thank you very much. I thought that it was rain on the street, so thank you very much for letting me know that. So now we have all of this different data. But because we were talking about Gemini, I do want to come back to Gemini for you because we have the infographic in Gemini. We also have our PowerPoint in Gemini. Let's see here, share, copy content. I got that. I'm going to go back over and we're going to hit a new chat. Well, you know what? I'm going to give you another tool that is also a part of Gemini. We're going to go over to Google Labs. And I am going to come over to their tool called Flow. So this is another Google tool, and I've been having a lot of fun with Flow. I'm going to show you what I'm doing in Flow. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, then I want to consistently put out pictures, okay? scroll down just a little bit. Now, a couple of things have occurred. Everything that you're seeing here is not me, it's my AI twin. What I'm considered an influencer. I'm a real estate influencer. I'm an influencer on the south side of the city of Chicago. I started developing and building out my AI twin to act as an influencer because as an influencer, I'm able to build additional streams of income by positioning myself to my market in other ways. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. This video right here, we'll play it. I took myself, and it did change the words, but that was a Viking stove, and I put the wallpaper in here. So that was not the stove, that was not the wallpaper. Let's go back. I'm going to be in Houston this week for NAR Next. I went and found a mural. I put myself in front of the mural in Houston. I've never stood in front of this mural a day before in my life.
Welcome to Houston for the best real estate conference.
Okay. I've never stood in front of that mural. The next thing, I found another mural. This mural had a person with a grill in front of it. So I went, took a picture of myself, put a grill in my mouth, and here you go. So to welcome realtors to Houston, I've gone back and I've created marketing with me in it. So this is an AI tool. This will be the last one I'm going to show you. So how do we do this? We'll go back to Flow. And I don't know what randomness I'm going to pick, but we're going to hit a new project. I am going to go to Ingredients to Video. We're going to come over to Pinterest. In Pinterest, I am going to go and look up Orange County. Let's start looking at some images here for potentially Orange County. See if I can find a spot. Oh, this is pretty. Let's see. I'm going to go over here. Let's look at this. Okay. I'm going to use this image. I'm going to use my snipping tool. Let me see if I can save this as an image. Yep, I can save it as a JPEG. So I'm going to save this as an image. And let's say that I wanted to do, so that's, we're going to put me in this picture. And let's say I want to do loungewear. I'm not doing a swimsuit, but we're going to do loungewear. Loungewear sets for women. Let's see this. Give myself a nice little two-piece outfit. What would I wear in Orange County? I kind of like that orange jogging suit. Oh, let's do this. Let's do loungewear for women in orange. All right. So we got a couple of cute sets here. Let's see. Which one am I going to pick? I like this one. I'm going to give this dress. Okay, let me see if I can save this as well. Save image. All of them don't let you save or download as an image. Okay. Now, with that one, I am going to go back in and I'm going to crop her head off. And the reason is because I don't want it to distort or change what I look like. So all of the marketing assets you need to dominate any community, essentially we have them all. And right now, this week, I am a ride or die ChatGPT girl, but I'm having the time of my life with the different Google tools. Okay, so we're just going to keep this outfit, and I'm going to save this. So save a copy. Let's put the number 2 behind here. We're going to go to downloads, hit save. So we're going to come back over to Flow. I am going to, we have our ingredients. We're going to do VEO 3.1 fast. It only does horizontal, so you cannot do vertical right now. I am going to come in and we're going to upload the pictures that we just downloaded. So I am going to pick my outfit. I am going to pick my scene, and I am going to pick a picture, an AI picture of myself that I like. Let's see, I'm gonna pick this one right here. Okay. Where my pictures at? Let's go back. Let me load them one at a time. Open. Okay, we're gonna go with this right here. Crop and save. And I can pick another picture of me. We're gonna go back. We're gonna upload our scenery. Yeah, I kind of like this view here. Crop and save. We're gonna add the model, and it took it. So I'm gonna now just give it some simple instructions. Change the model outfit. To the orange dress, and put her in the middle of the road, and put her in the middle of the road with the water behind her, and she is smiling. Okay, and we're going to hit enter. So hopefully the goal is they have my image in the orange dress with the image background. So those are ingredients. You could take this and put yourself anywhere in the community the same way that I'm doing for Houston this week. This is another Google AI tool, but for all of the content that we put out, you now want to have your images also. There is another tool that I use that I'll just show you the tool while that's generating and tell you why I use it. I use a tool called FreePic. And the reason that I use FreePic is because FreePic has the API of all of these very popular tools. I do pay for FreePic, but it's because I want to have access to the API of 10 different platforms. And I'll show you what I mean by the API. So all of these images are AI generated images of me. So for Texas this week, I'm loving this image is one of the images that I'm using for Texas this week. I didn't use that. I didn't use that. I'm using this image for Texas this week. I'm not using these because the hat wasn't cowboy-ish enough for me. I'm not using this because it put the blonde wig on me like Beyonce. I would potentially use that, but I like this one better. So I'm always putting myself in places using different images. Last week I get an email, Gucci got a new lavender jogging suit. I put that lavender jogging suit on me. They had the new Gucci puffer. I put the Gucci puff on me and I put myself in veil. So we can do this. This coat, this Miu Miu coat is $9,000. Ain't no way I'm buying a $9,000 coat, but I got the $9,000 coat on. So I have a lot of fun, but I'm being very specific about the market in which I want to pivot to based on, let me just kind of show you this, based on how I'm dressing. Okay, so let's go back over here to Flow. This is the no excuse zone. Now, this I don't like because she does not look like me. But it did pretty good for the first try. I mean, it pulled the image in, it got the dress. Yeah, but it could have worked on me just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. I'm getting all this, right, for $20 a month. $20 per month. And so that means then I have to be responsible and share. I do a lot of video content because video is going to give you the most value for your content. Couple of things. I don't want anybody to act like they don't know what it is that I do. That's my number. No one is telling me they don't know what Marky does. And here's how much I market myself. My husband does not have a Facebook account. He believes that Facebook is the work of the devil. Every day, somebody stops my husband and asks him, "Are you Marky's husband?" The running joke is he is Marky's husband. I'm not Steven's wife. He's Marky's husband because I put him on Facebook because when I'm not around, I don't want you to act like you don't know that that's my husband. And so we have a goal. A lot of people don't want to come across as salesy. No seller has asked you not to be salesy. But now that you have access to all this intel and the ease of using these tools with $20 per month and 10 minutes per day, you can create and share enough content for a 7-figure GCI business. You can do it. This is the no excuse zone. I can't see good and or hear good, and I'm doing it. What questions do you have? We will make sure you all can have the replay. And Elsie, I'll make sure that I send you everything. I'll give you either the link or the download in a nice folder. I'll put that together as soon as we get off this call and send that over so that you all will be able to have all of these assets that were created just for your zip code that you can go back and duplicate in the other 10 to 15 zip codes. You can pause it, fast forward it, but this stuff is not going anywhere, okay? And next year, Elsie, we'll teach them how to automate it because you can't automate it, but you got to know how to do it first to be able to automate it. Do you take, let's see here. We got a next, how do you sign up for my newsletter? Go follow me on LinkedIn and you can sign up for AI Social Selling Made Simple is my newsletter. But then I also have an email. I have a podcast. I'm the podcast host of Drive Within AR, the official podcast of the National Association of Realtors. But my newsletter, we post that every Saturday morning, and it is on LinkedIn. You'll definitely need the recording. Do you take full body pictures or upload a video on Flow to do this? I think it's is it Beatrice? For that one, it was a full body shot, but it was only photos that I loaded. And remember, because it was horizontal at 16:9 of the dimensions, it didn't get my full body. It actually only it cropped me. So it cropped the woman's dress. I only had the shoulder of her dress, but it elongated it based on what the dress looked like at the top. We had the image dead on. Only thing I really didn't like in the video was my face. It got the bald fade, but it could have done a better job with my facial features. So I'll probably go back and play with it just to get it right because it's going to annoy me that it didn't get it right. But you see it pulled all the elements in. And so those are those AI twins that you can create for yourself. Let's see what this last question is. And we do have another session. We are going to do, create 100 videos in minutes, leveraging Canva. So next month, the month of December, we'll have our final session for 2025. It will be all about Canva, how to create your reels. The reels, essentially that my son was able to generate $165,000 on gross closed income with no ad spend. I want everybody to enjoy the season. We celebrate Thanksgiving here. You might not celebrate Thanksgiving, but enjoy all of the upcoming holidays. And I will see you in the month of December right here. Make sure that you register and bring someone with you. Thank you.